Hey there, this is Eva Balat, the on-purpose entrepreneur. Welcome to this Embracing Change video. I'm really excited to be sharing this with you. I'm fresh from a company event and it was absolutely epic, probably one of the best company events I've been to. And, it's a testament because each one that I keep on going to, it just gets better and better and better. With my company, there has been a lot of transitions and changes, and we were really they really shared what those changes would be, and they're going to be absolutely transformational, not only in our industry and how we market and position ourselves with our businesses, but also for the industry. Otherwise, not only in a company, but this is actually going to impact the industry as a whole. And it's actually going to come out maybe within this week, where people are going to start seeing what makes us different, what makes us stand apart. And it got me thinking about change and really how so many times people are resistant whenever a company decides to change things. And there has to be a level of trust that's placed inside of the leadership to rally behind them when they're making changes, or when they're deciding to shift the direction of the company as a whole, even in its business model, to say, there's a lot of thought process in this change is actually going to help you create more income, but also make sure that the company is structurally and foundationally strong, so we have your futures in mind for the long haul, right? For those individuals who are familiar with traditional network marketing or just affiliate marketing, a lot of time things change suddenly and you have a decision to make, right? So I want to share with you about embracing change. This weekend, our company event was called Revolution, and Revolution really is a thought process that most of us just think about, like riots or world change or world wars or whatever, as an uprising to create a revolution. But there's actually a formula that you and I both can utilize in our everyday life and business to create a revolution as we press forward in our business. Now, this weekend, one of our leaders, Tracy Walker, she's a leader of the Dream Team, which I am a part of. She's a 7-figure earner inside of this industry. And she really broke down what the formula is for revolution. And I want to share that with you and give you some insight as far as how you can actually create a revolution in your life and business. So the formula is, the first, you got to have a realization. Now, a realization is so important because a lot of times we're in the everyday monotony of our lives. And it's not until you have the bottom of the barrel moment, or a breaking point, or a straw that breaks the camel's back, that you have to sit and realize, oh my gosh, something has to change. Life cannot be just this. Life has to be different, and I have to make a change. So once you recognize that something has to change, something has to be different, the day-to-day living, paycheck to paycheck, or the strife that you have in your marriage, or the strenuous back and forth that you have with your kids, or the frustration that you have at your desk job, something has to change. You're not living in your purpose, or you're not maximizing the potential that you have inside in your business and within relationships, and you've realized you've got to make a change. So once you have that realization, the next step that you have to have is a resolution. What's a resolution? It's simply making a decision to take action on your realization. So once you realize something, you can't just stop there. And this is where most people do. They just stop with the thought process, well, life sucks, man. I just got to do something. But they're not willing to actually take that next step and actually decide to do something about it. You may not know exactly how to do it, but you've got to make a decision that you're going to take the steps necessary to figure it out, to move yourself out of this situation. And I dare to say, if you don't move out of that situation, you're actually not in pain enough to grasp that realization. I hope this makes sense. If you are not if you're not moving away from pain, you're actually not that much in pain. It may be hurtful. It may be sensitive to you. You may want to actually have that change. You may have the intention, but if you're moving your hand towards a hot flame, If you feel the heat of a hot flame, you want to move your hand away before you get burned. Or if you did get burned, you're going to do everything in your power not to move in that direction anymore. So if you're not actually moving, if you're not actually making a decision to get away from that pain, it must not be that painful, right? It's like that story about the dog who sits on the nail and hounds and hounds and howls, and what happens? Just howls. Doesn't actually get up from the nail that he's actually sitting on. So you've got to make a decision that this realization that you realize that things have to be different, to make a decision to move yourself in the direction to get out of that problem or situation or issue. Once you do that, you've got to recognize what the risks are. The risks are the naysayers, are the negative people who are going to say, what are you doing? Anytime that you're going to be moving yourself and doing something unorthodox, or especially if you're around in an environment or in a community where, stagnation and mediocrity is the norm, and you decide to do something different, there are going to be risks. You've got to recognize those risks, expect those risks, and embrace those risks, right? Recognize those risks. Those risks are, there are going to be people who say, what are you doing? Like, you're an idiot. You're starting a business online? That doesn't even make any sense. You better stay at that job. Like, you have family, you have friends, and you have your own internal dialogue that might say, well, what do I have to offer? I'm not a 7-figure earner. I shouldn't be telling, Tracy Walker's Revolution presentation. Like, she already said it. Why do I need to say it again? She's probably better at it. Right? Why do I need to cut a video? Why do I need to do a blog post? Is anybody going to read it? Is anybody going to watch my video? Right? Those are the risks that we come across, and a lot of it is internal stuff too that we got to recognize is dressed in fear. But we got to understand there's real risk in putting ourselves out there, real risk at making a change. And you got to embrace those risks and realize that there are going to be hurdles that you've got to get over. Once you understand these 3 processes in creating a revolution for yourself, you're going to be in a better position in your business to attract the right types of people, to let them understand that you're in one path, one accord, you have a vision for yourself, and they're going to attach themselves to that vision, and hence the revolution, right? And that your messaging or the vision that you have spreads to them, and your vision and the movement and the revolution that you have going on is enough to carry all the people's dreams and aspirations in it. All right, so I have such a big vision. I have such a big why, a big movement that I want to create inside of this industry of helping part-timers really succeed online and not really, sacrifice their busy life schedule for it, and actually do it in a very realistic, practical, strategic way. And this industry is capable. It's capable of embracing the vision that you have, and especially if you have a leader, if you have an organization, or if you have a company that's actually going to help you realize those dreams, you've got a revolution on your hands. So I wanted to share this information with you. It's fresh off the press, and I'm happy to share this with you. If you have any questions for me, please connect with me on Facebook. If you want to know about how to create your own revolution by building a strong volunteer army, and you want to know how to position yourself as a leader, as an expert in your industry, no matter what company, product, service, program, or system that you're promoting, I want you to visit freedomonpurpose.com. This is where you're going to find the information. I love to help you get started with your own revolution. Thank you so much for watching this video. To the next one, stay awesome, take massive action, and live life on purpose. Bye.